everyone. I'm Estela Casas, creative brand strategist for the Viva Auto Group family of dealerships. Thanks for listening to the VivaStyle Podcast, where we have interesting conversations about the automotive industry that provides hundreds of jobs in the borderland. Let's talk VivaStyle. I guess we can kind of start with a birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Viva El Paso. Happy birthday to you. Wow. 44 years in the community. Viva El Paso started in 1978 and just had its 44th birthday. Very young, I would say.
I hope so.
Yes, absolutely. Well, so Cody Richie, artistic director, joins us this afternoon because, we need to talk about something that is very El Paso. Viva El Paso. Tell me a little bit about how it's evolved over the last 44 years. I know you haven't been a part of those 44 years, but you've seen it evolve through the years.
Right. So, it's originally just an idea with Hector Serrano to do a special summer presentation in the beautiful McElligin Canyon and feature the culture and history of El Paso. Through the years, he developed his own story to huge audiences. People really loved the idea. As it transitioned through the years, different people took over the program and added little touches of their own. In 2014, the Community Foundation took it over because Viva was in slight trouble. And the Community Foundation brought in Keith Townsend to be the director, and he brought in myself and a couple of other people, redid the script. The script is by Marty Martin. Jim Ward and myself added original music, and right now we've finished pretty much the creative process in redoing Viva. Now we're looking at redoing McElligin Canyon and adding some tech elements that are really needed out there because it needs to be modernized.
It's always evolving. And I imagine that through COVID-19, through the COVID years, the last 2 years have been quite a change for Viva. People weren't getting out. You couldn't be out there. So how has that helped or how has that hindered the growth of Viva?
The main thing is right as COVID hit is right when the Community Foundation was letting go of Viva El Paso. We started a nonprofit called El Paso International and Cultural Arts, Epic Arts, to run Viva for the Community Foundation. But right as COVID hit, it meant that we couldn't fundraise. All our sources we couldn't do Viva for the entire summer that first year. So we just basically had to start from scratch, but with a kind of a dead zone of 16, 18 months.
Right. That must have been very difficult for you all. But you know what? It probably gave you some time to reinvent Viva El Paso.
Definitely. And, one of the things that I think is always held true, and Hector was really great with this when he started the program, is he had so many young people join Viva and get training in the arts that are important to El Paso and the cultural history and the cultural arts that are important to El Paso. And we want to carry on that same tradition. So one of our big things is that we want to keep constantly training young artists. And that's been the great thing is the last few years as we've come back from COVID is all these new high school kids and college kids coming in and learning how to do things that they've never done before.
Lighting and audio and dancing. It's not just all about dancing.
Correct.
Or singing.
Correct. And we always have a pretty large tech crew out there of young kids. I have a kid who's in my own high school program at Chapin High School running lights. He's programmed the lights out there. He's been helping El Paso Live reprogram their lights out there. So it's great to see people develop their love and talents and be able to use them in the future, we hope.
So it's a great resource. So Viva El Paso has been such a great resource for budding artists who they want to learn how to sing, they want to learn how to dance, they want to learn lighting, they want to learn audio. And then there's a professional crew, but there's also an opportunity for kids in high school who want to learn an art or want to test it out and say, I really don't like this, or yes, I love it. So it's a great learning environment as well. Tell me about that.
One of the things that's been really great the last few years, too, is we have so many educators who are working as some of the older staff, including myself. So we've worked with children all our lives and worked with young students, and it's been great to say, this is a professional setting, so the expectations are higher for you, but this is still education, so we're going to make sure that you get a positive environment and something that will help you grow and develop as a person.
Absolutely, in every sense. So does everybody learn lighting and audio and dancing and singing? Let's say, some kid who's listening to us today is 16 years old and likes to dance, but doesn't know anything about lighting. Do you all give them the opportunity to learn those things, or do they just concentrate on one thing that they like to do?
Well, we do have a slight separation. So most of the kids that come in for tech, they just work on tech because, again, it takes us 2.5 hours every performance to set up the show. So that's a lot of cabling, a lot of setting up electrical equipment, making sure everything works, the microphones, the sound system, the lighting system. So that's a specialized job. And then during the show, they're running anything that needs to change, including running the soundboard, the light board, and backstage running tech elements and helping move set pieces. But performers, they're expected to be the traditional, 3 talent, acting, singing, and dancing. So
okay, you got to separate them. Yeah, because sometimes those dancers can't do lighting, and certainly probably the lighting people and audio people on the audio board can't dance.
Correct.
But you have to concentrate on somebody's talents and maybe help build some of their weaknesses or deficiencies. So it's a great learning environment. Now you talk about Chapin. You're working at Chapin. Tell me what capacity you work at Chapin and how that helps you with Viva El Paso.
So I'm a theater director at Chapin High School. I think El Paso is very fortunate. This is one of the only cities anywhere that has full arts programs, elementary through middle school through high school. The programs are strong here. We turn out a lot of great artists in all the high schools and all the districts. I work for EPISD. I'm very proud of that. They just finished their summer musical, which was a big hit. Working at Chapin and working with the high school kids and a lot of military kids who come in and out of the city gives you perspective on how other people see El Paso and what is out there outside in the world and how universally we're all the same and how sometimes we're a little different.
Absolutely. VivaStyle. Finding it has never been easier with Viva Ford. You don't have to dream it, you can build it. VivaStyle. Make it your own with special accessories and let it take you on new and exhilarating adventures. It's brand new, built for you, by you. Get your priority custom order now. What's your VivaStyle? It's what you want it to be.
At Viva Ford, off I-10 and Red Road.
You love El Paso.
I love El Paso.
I love El Paso. Everybody loves El Paso. Everybody embraces our city and embraces its culture. We are such a diverse community, really, and that makes it so special. Now, are you from El Paso?
Technically, I am. I was.
Okay.
My parents were living in Las Cruces. They were very young, and once I was born, they moved to El Paso. But so I technically consider myself an El Paso, and except for a few years where professionally I was working in New York, I've been in El Paso most of my life.
So tell me what keeps you here? Because you probably had a lot of opportunities to leave, but what kept you here?
Really, and honestly, I was doing really well in New York, and I loved New York, but once I started having a family, once I started having kids, and I realized it's so much easier to raise a family in El Paso than in most cities, I wanted to come back. And the other thing is, walking around the big city and you don't see the sky, and every time I visited back home in El Paso, I'd be like, oh, wow, I can see the sky.
And the beautiful mountains.
Yes, definitely. A lot of my friends outside of El Paso, they don't understand when I say there's a mountain in the middle of the city. They're like, how does that work? And I go,
come see it. Come check it out. Come check it out and check our beautiful star as well.
Definitely.
You are also a musician. You play several instruments. Tell me about that. That's, this is an opportunity. We're here at Viva Dodge to, of course, talk about the cars and the inventory and all of that stuff. But it's also very interesting to bring interesting people into our circle so we can know more about you. You are from El Paso. You're a family man. You are also a musician. Tell me about that. That's, you are well-rounded.
Well, and it's Viva El Paso is definitely kind of part of that theater world, and because it is theater, but it's a lot of people know me recently because of Viva El Paso, but most of my life I have been a full-fledged professional musician. I've played with several bands here. I've done a lot of recording projects. I play for traveling shows. I played for Wicked when they came in. Played for Carole King, The Beautiful Story when they came in.
What a great show.
I've played with a lot of famous artists. I worked with Juan Gabriel a lot in his studios when he was alive and working his studio down in Yarborough area. It's an exciting life. Viva El Paso, I co-wrote the songs with Jim Ward. Jim Ward, is obviously an El Paso icon. So the music part of my life has been very fulfilling, and hopefully it keeps on besides Viva El Paso.
Absolutely. Any regrets? Because, being a musician is tough. It's very challenging. But musicians are always happy because they get to express themselves through their music, through their singing, through an instrument, playing an instrument. But any kind of regrets where you say, shoot, I should have done this, or I shouldn't have done that. What kind of regrets do you have?
Well, obviously, sometimes, the arts are not the most financially rewarding things. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. People ask me all the time, it's like, do you hope to be, famous or good or whatever? And I'm like,
well, you are good.
I've done a lot of things. It's just, I don't make $3 million, so maybe that's why you don't realize it. The hardest thing is when you're raising family, the arts are very hard because you have to be away at rehearsals, you have to be away at performances. That's the most difficult part of it. My kids are grown now, so now it's kind of like I've gone back to when I was younger, when we first met.
That's right. Oh my gosh. So Cody came up to me a little bit ago and says, "Do you remember me?" Like, well, I see a lot of people. He says, "We go back to Oti." Oh my gosh, that was in 1984. When I was able to perform a song that somebody wrote for me long time ago. I have no pictures, I have no audio, I have nothing, which may be a good thing. But we do go back a long way, and I appreciate you dedicating your career and your life here in El Paso, because a lot of people do leave, and they take their talents elsewhere, and we appreciate you staying here and doing that.
Well, I'm glad people still want me here. So.
Oh, absolutely. So just to wrap things up, you all have just 2 more weeks left.
3 more weeks.
3 more weeks. Yeah. The August 5th and 6th are your last performances. What can people expect?
Really, the dancing is phenomenal. Hopefully, if people are watching the filmed part of this interview, you can get to see some of our excellent dancers. But the dancing is always incredible, and it's so many different styles, which you can't see in most shows. The singing, we've really worked on the last few years and bringing in young talent that can really sing. The songs by Jim Ward and myself, I think, are really good songs. And then the pageantry, the costumes, the history, and then the humor. Marty Martin did some great job of not only putting some history in the show, but having it be humorous so people could really enjoy watching it. So that's the big thing about the show.
Okay. August 5th and 6th are the last performances, but you are perform. What are the dates?
We're going to be on this Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd, 23rd. The Friday night, the July 29th, is media night, so perhaps you'd want to come back and do a little media appearance on stage. You'd be a great cowgirl.
Okay.
July 30th was a Saturday night performance, and then our last Friday, Saturdays are August 5th and August 6th.
Okay, so make plans to go. How much are the tickets?
$24 for adults. There's $16 for groups, for kids, for military. It's a great price, especially if you buy downtown at the Plaza box office or at the theater. You can show up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock before the show and get tickets. That way there's no fees, and we like to tell people that that's the best way to do it.
Okay, so just show up. And at what time is the gates open?
It's actually open there all the time, but we start selling tickets at 5 o'clock, but it's best time to go is about 7 o'clock, and there's some food and entertainment out there, and it's great to just be out in the 15 degrees cooler than the rest of the city.
Absolutely. So you all, for all the adults watching, do you guys sell alcohol?
We do sell alcohol. The margaritas are very well known. So
there we go. So margaritas, food, great entertainment, and most importantly, we'll away some free tickets.
Yes, definitely. We'd like to give away 2 family packs. I know definitely we would like people to share, and tag this podcast. So hopefully the winners can go up to the canyon. We'll have the tickets at will call, and we'll have 4 for each family. Okay,
so we're giving away 4 tickets, 2 family packs when you share, and tag the VivaStyle Podcast and Viva El Paso. Thanks for watching, everybody. and good luck. We'd like to hear what you think about today's conversation. Go to the Viva Auto Group Facebook page and like us. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car or truck, we invite you to choose a Viva vehicle.
A soaking bath is relaxing, but the ocean breeze is closer than you think. Escaping the heat in the mountains is too, if you're in the right vehicle. Don't dream it, live it. Vacation in a new Viva vehicle. Gather the family for a well-deserved adventure in a Viva vehicle.
Hey, that's my spot.
What's your Viva style? It's what you want it to be. Come see Viva in El Paso.